First of all, some management have very high expectation on AI, and I think AI is just like any other technologies, right? There's some area that they're applicable, and there's some area that is not applicable. And then when we learned how this technology can be used, then we are now doing something that is more productive and more realistic. Appreciation of AI will rise again. Hi, Eric. Thanks for coming to the Power Talk.
Yes.
And DIGITIMES is very famous in Taiwan, but we have a more international audience here.
Yes.
Maybe you can introduce a bit what DIGITIMES does, and also a bit about yourself.
DIGITIMES was a media, but not just a media company. We produce tens of news every day for high-tech industry. Actually, we are the first Taiwanese media totally focused on high-tech industry. We also had a website called DIGITIMES Asia. So we have readers around the world. And beside our media business, we also provide a research report. Actually, we have tens of analysts. And I used to charge our research center to in charge of this analyst team to do research reports. Focus on like a semiconductor and ICT supply chain and automotive vehicle and so on. And for myself, as I mentioned, that I used to in charge our analyst team. Now I'm responsible to build our database for data intelligence, like import, output, trade data, and supply chain ecosystems, major companies' performance, and so on.
Yeah.
Ken.
You know, Jensen Huang just visited Taiwan. I mean, everyone in Taiwan is talking about AI right now. So maybe you can talk about how, you know, AI can be applied to manufacturing. What would be the opportunity that you see?
You know that if you visit Computex, you may find out that every major processor company like Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, they all join Computex event because Taiwan is kind of like a AI hub, AI supply chain place, because we design and produce like a AI server and the AI PC and so on. So now we are into the Gen AI era. So every company, not just like a processor company, but also cloud service provider, they all need to leverage Taiwan's supply chain. So in Taiwan, we are seeing how fast the movement of the Gen AI. That's one of the mega trends that we are facing. For other mega trends that I can see related to AI is that one is supply chain deglobalization. You know, after the trade war, so the majority of a company need to move their supply chain out of China, no matter go back to their home country or need to find a new place to set up their factory. For example, go to the Southeast Asia or go to India or go to Mexico. Will create lots of challenge for manufacturing, for the efficiency or for year rate issue. So that's the issue that may need to count on AI to solve the problem. And also there's one issue, as you know, that if we want to leverage AI more, then data center need to provide more computing power. That will create the demand for power. So we need to find new ways to build a green data center to improve the energy efficiency and so on. Yes.
Yeah, we are seeing some of those as well. Some of our customers, they come to us. They have very good manufacturing performance when they started in China, but now they're moving everywhere. And it's not that easy to manage the operations, and that's why they're coming to us. A lot of our audience here, you know, their factory head or their management in manufacturing. So how should they get started?
If they want to get started, I mean, first, their management team need to have a clear concept to treat the digital transformation and to adopt AI as their first priority. They need to build a task force, and depends on what problem they want to solve first. Use the top-down approach to solve the problem in the field. Only after you solve one specific small problem and get good return, then you have the belief to put more resources to do more digital transformation projects, positive cycle to drive your company's transformation. Since PowerArena serves as an AI solution provider for some of the global top manufacturers, do you see any of these factors impacting the industry?
You mean the factor that you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, manufacturing AI, yes.
Yes, definitely. I mean, there are many problems that our customers are facing. I think one is what you mentioned earlier is the regionalization, that their factories is now more distributed, and they need to recruit new talents, which is very difficult to manage. And so that's one angle they're asking us for help. Another angle is not related to what we are doing, but I think supply chain is a lot more complicated than before.
Yes.
So, I mean, they will have delay, there are pirates, and there are war going on, and this is very disruptive to the supply chain.
Yes.
And this is something that they are trying to manage as well.
Yeah, I visited India last November. I visited some factories, and one manager told me they copy exactly of the production line from China to India. And they use the same SOP, but the operator don't follow the SOP. So I'm curious, based on your solution, how to solve this kind of problem?
We actually have customers that have the exact problem. So they are not in India, they're in Thailand. Comparing to the performance in China, Thailand is just 50% of China. So on the one hand, we started at their China factories that we collect the data. They can not only using it to improve the performance, but they can also use it as a training materials and show them how things can be done and what kind of problems that will occur and how to address all those problems. Because we have all the data available and they can make it accessible to their industrial engineers in Thailand as well. And so it is, not just for improving the performance, but also for education and training purposes.
Okay, great.
So you talk about how they should get started in AI, right?
Right.
So what would be the major obstacle that you are seeing in the AI adoption?
The major obstacle depends on how digitalization of the company. For some company, they don't have a good data set for AI training. I think that's the most companies' problem they are facing. Because if you want to adopt AI first, you need to have a data set. Then you use a specific algorithm to train the model, then apply it to the field. So I think, for example, if you want to do the predictive maintenance, but you don't have the data for the whole factory, whole the production line machines, you only have data for several machine tools. But you still need this small data to train the algorithm. That's the problem that the majority of the company they are facing. And the second problem is that management team's concept is different than the field manager's concept and the operator's concept. So even if the manager have great goals, but the manager, field manager, and the operator they implement will be different than what the manager expects. So I think that's another problem. Maybe you can share your experience.
Yeah, when we're talking to some of our customers, so I think, first of all, some management have very high expectation on AI, and what it can do and what it cannot do. And I think technology usually adopt a hype cycle. That at the beginning, wow, it's all the way high. That it is not realistic. And then after a while, when they try the technology, then they will become really disappointed. Oh, it's not what I expected.
Then their investment becomes a slowdown.
And eventually they will learn. And I think AI is just like any other technologies, right? There's some area that they are applicable, and there's some area that is not applicable. And then when we learned how this technology can be used, then we are now doing something that is more productive and more realistic, and then the expectation or the appreciation of AI will rise again. So I think now, depending on the customers, right? And some are in the down cycle, some are still in the up cycle, that they have really high expectation. I think having the right expectation of AI is one. And the other one is what you mentioned earlier, that they need to have some kind of top-down roadmap expectation. And because there are many different opportunities out there, and they're fighting for, I think, management attention. And if it is more bottom-up, based on ROI, and which ROI is the highest, and then I'll just do that, I think they will face a local optimal. That it is not, okay, you have, every docks around the factories, but it is not connected to a line, and it is not connected to a strategy. So I think it's better that, we started from top down, and based on the challenges of my company, this is going to be my major obstacle and bottleneck, and that's why I'm putting resources there to fix it. And of course, like when we actually roll out the technologies, there are gaps in the technical infrastructure. Like what you mentioned earlier, that maybe the data is not there, or it is or it is all over the place, and also they need to have a governance on their data.
Yes.
Like what data can be used and cannot be used, or it can be used, or how it can be used. There should be some guideline in place so that the data is more accessible. So I think finally it will be about people on the ground. They need to have certain training of AI as well. So for example, in our system, they can do model fine-tuning, they can enhance the AI. But they need to have some basic concepts of data, training, inference, and those kind of stuff. And so I think it is the expectation of the management. They need to have a roadmap, and then the data or the technical infrastructure. And also for the rest of the staff, they need to have some basic concepts of AI.
I think another important issue that I want to share is about the KPI, the indicator to improve when you adopt AI or other digital technology, and the root cause, the problem that you want to solve. For example, if you found out that your company's inventory of some materials is too high, then you want to solve the problem. You not just introduce an inventory management tool. You just leverage this tool to solve the problem. Before that, you need to identify what is the root cause to increase your inventory. For example, demand focus inaccuracy, or due to you have some design change. So different root cause will have different impact. You need to identify the root cause first, then you can introduce the right AI tool to solve the problem. You need to find the right indicators to improve when you adopt technology.
Yes. I think when manufacturers, when they adopt or work with other AI companies, I think on the one hand, they get the benefit of AI.
Yes.
But I think they can also spend a bit more time with the AI vendor to understand their methodology and how do they think about AI, so that this is not only a piece of technology that improves the productivity or the quality of the factories, but also it can be kind of like a way, it can be a case study or a learning opportunities on how AI can actually be used, what it can do and what it cannot do. So it is also a learning experience.
Yes,
as well.
So I think concept need to be changed first, then the behavior can be changed, and the efficiency and can be improved. Yes.
So do you have any other recommendation to our audience when they want to adopt AI?
If you look back for past 20 years, first we talk about big data, then cloud computing, then IoT, then deep learning, then 5G. Now it's Gen AI era. So I mean, the paradigm is keeping shifting. I mean, it's a never-ended process. You need to keep watching the emergent technology and figure out how to adopt the new technology into your field and to improve your operations. Gen era is about accelerated computing. But in the accelerated computing era, you need to have accelerated learning and accelerated transformation. Yeah, I think that's the concept that every companies need to have.
I see. And maybe we can switch gear and talk about the future.
Okay, no problem.
So what do you think factories would be like, 5 or 10 years from now?
I think when we talk about factory, we need to talk about how machine or AI co-work with human. I think we will facing a three-phase transformation. The first phase is that the AI or machine as a human's assistant. Human set up the goal of our task. We do the task. AI may support information for us to judge, and AI may do some routine automation jobs. But the humans still need to finish the task. And currently, we are facing the second phase, is that the AI is a co-pilot. That means AI can augment man's power to do more jobs that we previously cannot be done. For this phase, if you separate the task as different as a process, I mean, some steps of the process can be done by the AI for the first version of the job, but we humans still need to verify to prove what AI has done. But we humans still need to finish the task. But when in next 5 to 10 years, we will enter to a stage called AI as an agent. That means we just need to talk to the agent, AI agent, that we want to do this task, and AI will finish the task. At this stage, human's role is that just for setting the goal and provide resources to the AI agent and to monitor the result. And I think so in 5 to 10 years, I mean, you can imagine that the majority of the factory will be fully automated with more and more robots, no matter it looks like human or not, like AGV and AMR and so on. I think the number of the labor in the field will become less and less. It doesn't mean that we don't need laborers. Laborers may stay in the situation room to monitor the field, monitor the production line. They still need to count on human to solve the abnormal problems.
I see. Thank you very much.
Ken, so what's your viewpoint about future factory?
The way that we look at it is, take Tesla as an example. So maybe that's what not typical people think about Tesla. They think, oh, it is highly automated, which is great. But if you look at the products that Tesla produced, there's only a few products, and it is not very flexible. Comparing to BYD, for example, that, it's not only private cars but also trucks, buses, and whatsoever, right? I think automation is one thing, but comparing to humans is still a lot more flexible than machines and adaptable as well. So I think one of our tagline is human performance AI enhanced. So we're trying to make human more competitive in the age of increasing machines and automations as well. I agree that it will be less and less human, but I don't see the future as lights out factories that everything is automated, and those kind of factories tends to be less flexible, and a lot of the manufacturers are now in the high mix, low volume kind of productions.
Yes.
And so I think how to combine the flexibility of humans and also the automation capabilities of machine AI would be the key of the future factory.
Yes, I think we can use TSMC's advanced fab as an example to image how the future's factory looks like. Because TSMC's fab is the most advanced, most automated factory in the world. So just as what I mentioned before, that right now TSMC's 300 millimeter wafer fab, they don't have lots of the operator in the fab, in the production line. But as I mentioned, that they stay in the situation room. So they just for some troubleshooting issues. So I mean, in the future, probably more and more factory in different field, in different industries, they may adopt this kind of approach to set up their future factory.
I see. So what do you think about Taiwan? I think Taiwan is in a very interesting, catching the next wave, right? So it started with 3C, desktop, laptop, and mobile phone, and now it is AI servers, right? And what do you think about the future of, specifically about manufacturing in Taiwan?
I think unique relationships between Taiwanese tech supply chain with their customers and the suppliers. From global point of view, like a cloud service provider, they leverage Taiwan to provide traditional servers and AI servers. But in Taiwan, that who's their biggest customer? High-tech industry, like TSMC, like Foxconn, like Quanta, like Wistron. So they both are clients and suppliers, We produce technology products, but also in the world, especially in the smart manufacturing field, we also are the early adopter to use this AI technology to prove our operations, to prove our factories. I think that's a unique role that, the unique relationship between Taiwanese tech industry and the U.S. tech industry.
I see. Do you see other, there are different ecosystems
Yes.
In manufacturing, right?
Yes.
The Taiwan, and the U.S., the China, the Japan. Do you think they will compete with Taiwan in terms of, AI server is now like the most,
hottest
the hottest products, right?
Yes.
Are they going to compete with Taiwan? What would be the competitive landscape be like?
I think during the 80s, Taiwan produced PC and peripherals, especially like a motherboard, keyboard, mouse, or monitor, and so on. So starting at that time, we built our competitiveness in the computing products. Now, after the PC era, we're into the smartphone era. So Taiwan industry development was a little bit slowed down compared to the PC era, because for smartphone era, the biggest market is in China, and China has its own brands like Huawei, like Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, and so on. So, and they have their own EMS, ODM manufacturers. They have a whole supply chain. Actually, China has the world's most competitive smartphone supply chain. So Taiwan became a little bit slowed down. So AI, OT era, there's no high volume new electronic product. They all small volume like industrial PC, focus on different vertical field. So no high volume mass market new products. Now we enter the Gen AI era. Fortunately, we still keep our competitiveness in the computing field. So we can migrate from traditional PC design and manufacturing and the traditional server to the AI server and to the new generation AI PC. So I think compared to the other countries, I think Taiwan still be the best place to support the hardware infrastructure.
I see. How about the EV market? I'm asking because I think lots of the EMS in Taiwan, they want to move into the EV space as well. That from making electronic 3C products into making automotive components, or even I think in Foxconn they have initiative to even make the whole electric car.
Yes.
But now the EV space is dominated by BYD, and I think BYD is quite vertically integrated. And what do you think about the role of Taiwan manufacturers in EV?
I think we enter this market segment a little bit slower than our Chinese competitors. China counts on 2 over 3 of the global EV markets. So they have the world best market demand to nurture their supply chain. Taiwanese industry, our progress, just see the early achievement, but then not play pretty well. But since Chinese EV industry now push hard to explore their final EV product and also batteries and other EV components, it will disrupt the traditional automotive supply chain. So they will disrupt the current hierarchy. So I think the European industry and the US industry, the Japanese industry, they need to change faster, else they will be replaced by Chinese competitors. And if they don't change fast, then we, Taiwanese company, we have less opportunities. If they change fast, they need to find partners can support their change. Then Taiwanese companies will be the other choice beside China to support them to develop their new product, to improve their operation efficiency, to lower their costs. So I think we have more opportunity than before.
I see. Yeah, it's interesting to see how this space will evolve in the next 5 years.